When you read a sentence like, "Ram eats mango," your brain performs two distinct tasks. First, it identifies the individual words. Second, it verifies the grammatical structure to ensure those words form a valid sentence. These are separate logical steps. Word recognition identifies the pieces, while sentence verification analyzes how they fit together. In a compiler, we call word recognition lexical analysis, handled by the Lexer. Sentence verification is syntax analysis, handled by the Parser. The source code passes through the Lexer to become a stream of tokens. These tokens enter the Parser, which organizes them into a hierarchical parse tree. Understanding the dividing line between these phases is essential for navigating the compiler front end. The Lexer sees source code as a raw stream of individual characters. It scans them to group into units, stripping away unneeded elements like whitespace and comments. The remaining characters are converted into tokens, standardized tags representing identifiers, operators, and delimiters. The Lexer's responsibility ends with this token stream. It doesn't know, and doesn't need to know, the actual logic or meaning of the program it's processing. The parser takes over from here. It ignores the original characters and evaluates only the tokens, checking them against the language's predefined grammar. If the tokens follow the rules, the parser connects them into a parse tree, which defines the structural relationship of the code. This doesn't happen in a single batch. Instead, the parser dynamically demands tokens from the Lexer one at a time. The parser asks for a token, the Lexer identifies one, and the parser processes it. This loop continues until the entire program is structured. The parser acts as the architect, pulling raw materials on demand to ensure the program's structural integrity. Code failures clearly reveal this boundary. Left, the Lexer hits an invalid @ symbol, triggering a lexical error before the parser begins. Right, the Lexer outputs valid tokens, but the parser finds a missing operand after the plus, triggering a syntax error. Malformed tokens lead to lexical errors. Valid tokens in a malformed sequence lead to syntax errors. Test yourself. Which of these trigger a lexical error or a parser error? The first snippet is a lexical error because 12.3 ABC isn't a valid token. Snippets 2 and 3 contain valid tokens, but their arrangement violates grammar rules. These are parser errors. The distinction between a broken word and a broken sentence defines where the Lexer's work ends and the parser's begins. To summarize, the Lexer processes characters to produce tokens. It handles the noise, like spaces and comments, and flags invalid symbols. The parser takes those tokens to build a parse tree. It verifies grammatical arrangement and identifies missing or misplaced elements. This modular design allows the compiler to manage the complexity of programming languages by isolating specific concerns into manageable layers. However, even with a perfect parser, problems can arise. What happens if the grammar allows the same code to be interpreted in two different ways? This conflict is called ambiguity, a situation where the compiler cannot decide which structural interpretation is correct. Ambiguity forces the compiler to make a choice it isn't equipped to make, requiring a more sophisticated set of grammar rules to resolve the conflict. We will examine how to identify and fix these grammars in the next lesson.